So, of the personal lessons from his victory, which of them stands out for you? The persistent story, I guess.
Yes. Yes, persistence is very important if you want to achieve things, if you want to make your dreams come true. So I really believe it's an important ingredient or an important trait that everyone should cultivate and develop on.
Okay. Now, then you wrote nugget 7 here is the good side of social media. And I think 8 has to do with social media too.
Yes.
What's that?
Managing the bad side.
So there's a good side of social. Now, I was eager to ask you this when I was reading. The one big challenge people of your generation have, older people will say, is the distraction that come from social media. Do you agree?
Yeah, social media can be addictive and not in a good way. I mean, most of my age mates, I say they would put on some disguise, some personality that they're not, just to impress people on social media, just to feel like a big person. And it can get very addictive, lying to yourself that you're this person when you're not. And there's also the issue of cyberbullying and, just being addicted and putting up a personality that you are not. So
this is the first time I was a catfish.
Yes, catfish. There's actually a show on that where they catch people that lie to other people online.
On social media.
Yeah. Some people would they would put up these guys like as their women, like they're women when they're actually men. So it's crazy.
Put up the picture of a woman.
Yes.
And then start toying with other people's emotions.
Yes.
Meanwhile, they are men.
Yeah.
And all that. So those are the people. Those are catfishes, right? A catfish is someone who pretends to be someone else, using Facebook or other social media to create false identities, particularly to pursue deceptive online romances. From what you've written here, your chapter 7, there are lots of good sides to social media.
Yes, really. Yes, yeah. It's informative, it's a fast way of communicating, and you see most of these people putting up images of lost child or someone that is sick. So it's a way of helping people actually, but that's good side shouldn't really outgrow the bad side. The bad side shouldn't really overshadow the good side. It's a balance, a sort of balance.
Yeah, a lot of Nigerian parents who, they literally cringe when it comes to social media. What do you think? They don't want their children to go near, they have a Facebook account or have a Twitter handle, or even hold a mobile phone until they are 18 or 19. What's your take on that?
It may be because of their background. You see, a lot of Nigerian parents didn't grow up that way. They grew up helping in the kitchen, doing chores, all these traditional things, domestic things. So when they see their child only going on Facebook and stuff, they don't find it right. They don't find it like as a normal thing. So they try to put off whatever is, making their child so different from them. They try to put a stop to it. And it may also be because of names, because Nigerian parents are very very concerned about their names. Like when you go out somewhere, they'll tell you, don't give a name don't give yourself a bad name. So they may be scared that when their child is doing something on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, the child may be doing something that won't really represent, or it won't really give the family name a good, to be bad for a family name. So I don't know. It's I don't really support that. because sometimes when they put a stop to social media or they seize your phones, they're actually urging the child to go to delve deeper, to go into that life so that they can feel like they're rebelling or feel rebellious. And that's the thing about teenagers. Once you tell them not to do something, they want it the more, like they want to feel like they are daring you.
Okay, now let's go to when you got hooked to reading.
Okay.
Harry Potter influence, right?
Yes.
I noticed you wrote a lot about J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling kept popping up in the book.
Yeah.
So she definitely has been a big influence.
Definitely.
I'm not a big fan of the Harry Potter series.
No. Why?
But I mean, it's a hugely successful
Yes.
series. Huge. I like the story behind it. Fantastic story. And you said a bit of that about J.K. Rowling, how she tried to publish,
Yes.
and for many years and couldn't publish. And it's a very inspiring story.
Yes.
I mean, she's made lots of money and success from. So I like that story, but I'm not a big fan of fantasy fiction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a very big fan of fantasy fiction. So when the Harry Potter series came out, I guess that bias made me stay off the state series. But tell me a bit about that love for Harry Potter. You're a big fan of fantasy fiction, I guess.
Just that one, actually. When I think about it, I'm more into books that play with your mind and give you something to think about. But Harry Potter was an exception, and I wouldn't. It's always going to be my favorite series, no matter what. I guess.
And that's the story of a lot of young people.
Yeah.
All over the world. Okay. There's a new one out now.
Yes.
What's the title?
Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Have you read that?
Yes.
Sure you read it. Okay. Now, is there any Nigerian version of Harry Potter in any form? Have you stumbled upon any?
No. I've noticed Nigerian books, they like to talk about the village life and, struggles and throes of typical Nigerian. So if there is, I wouldn't know about it, but I would love to read it.
So you're not very keen on those kind of storylines?
I am.
Have you read Things Fall Apart?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I've always wanted to do.
You've not read Things Fall Apart. Have you? Which Nigerian books have you read?
The Fisherman.
Was that recommended reading at school?
Someone bought it for me and I liked it.
Okay.
I can't even remember the name of the author, but it was a really good book.
Okay.
Other Nigerian books that I've read, I probably read them from school, but I like the stories behind Nigerian books, village life and the importance of culture and discipline. There are things that you have to remember when the world is evolving like this. So, yeah.
Okay, so which do you read more? Do you read more of local books or of foreign books? Do you read more of foreign authors than local authors?
Foreign, definitely.
More foreign authors.
Yes.
Why is that so?
They're easier to get online.
They're easier to get.
Online, yes. That would be my number one reason, because I don't have anything against local books. I would love to read them more. I have easier access to foreign books.
Does that mean you read more from your e-reading tablets?
Yes.
Than physical books like
Yes.
this? So you read more from your iPad,
Yeah.
and so on than
Yeah.
physical books?
Yes.
Again, is that the case with a lot of people from your generation?
Yes. It's a technology generation. So everything we do now, it's basically on iPads, iPhones, tablets. We hardly get the real thing these days.
So this is your first book.
Yes.
I suppose we're expecting a lot more.
Hopefully, yes.
Fiction and non-fiction.
Both.
Thank you very much for joining us on Channels Book Club.
Thank you for having me.
Nice
It's
to
been
have you on the
great.
show. All right.